Hello everyone, and today we are going to have a look at our new spelling words. So this week our learning intention is I am learning to spell common words. So each group is going to have a different set of words to learn this week, so I'm going to split the video into 4 sections for each of the 4 groups. The first group I'm going to start with is crayons. So if you're not the crayons group, you can obviously watch this part of the video, or you can try and skip ahead to your section of the video, just whatever suits you. So crayons first. So crayons, our first word is like. So this is a common word that we will use quite often in our writing, and we'll use it when we're reading as well. So if we think about how we diacritically mark like, the L is a sound on its own. The I sound comes from the magic E, so we draw a line between the I and the E. And then we've got the K sound in the middle there, so we just put a dot under K. So like is our first word. Second word, with. Again, this is one that sometimes we can get stuck on. It's a th sound at the end, so if we have a look at the diacritical marking, with th. So it's the t h that makes the th sound at the end of the word. Next word, that. And again, it's that th sound at the start of the word. It does sound a little bit different when we say it out loud. So if we diacritically mark that one, at, that. It is a funny one to diacritically mark. Next one, guys, we have play. And I know this one is one that we like to use in our writing, and we do come across it in our reading as well, so it's very useful. So let's diacritically mark it. So there's 3 sounds, p, l, a. So the A sound is made by the A and the Y together, so we underline both of those letters. Next word, a tricky word. I think this is probably our trickiest word this week for crayons. Said. Because it does sound like there's an A in the middle, a lot of us can spell it wrong at times, so let's diacritically mark it. So again, it's got 3 sounds, s, e, d, but the E sound is made by the A and the I in the middle, so it is a tricky one, so take your time learning that one. Next word, your. So this your is like your jacket, your best friend, your house, your dog, something that belongs to you. Okay, so if we diacritically mark that, it's got 3 sounds, y, u, so the y is a sound on its own, the sort of u in the middle is the o and the and then we've got the at the end there. Next word, from. So there are 4 sounds there if we diacritically mark it. F, o, m. From. 4 sounds in from. Last word for the crayons today, we have got R. And R is a tricky one. Just sometimes how we can say it out loud, we can get the sounds a little bit jumbled. So it only has 2 sounds. So it's got the A and the So the A on its own, and then the E makes the sound. So we underline those. So R. So we have like, with, that, play, said, your, from, and R. So what I'd like you to do now, crayons, you can copy your words onto a whiteboard, a jotter, a bit of paper, anywhere that you have a space to do some writing on, and then see if you can diacritically mark them yourselves. You can look at the video for help, or you can pause the video, don't look at the video, see if you can find those sounds yourself. So crayons, that is you done. That is your task for the day. Those are your spelling words. You don't need to watch the rest of the video unless you want to, because now we're going to go on to the highlighters. So if you're the highlighters group, let's have a look at your words for this week. So our first word is with. Okay, so with. So it's the th sound at the end of the word. So if we diacritically mark that, thinking about the sounds, there are 3 sounds in with, with. So we diacritically mark like that with a line underneath the t and the h. Our next word, a tricky word. A lot of people get this one wrong, a bit confusing, just because of the letters. So this one's said, and we'll come across that one in our reading a lot. So it has 3 sounds, s, d, but when we diacritically mark it, we can see it's not an E sound, an E letter, sorry. It's the A and the I that make that E sound in this word, so we can diacritically mark it like that. Next word, your. So this is the your, like your jacket, your friend, your dog, something that belongs to you. So it's got 3 sounds again. Y, and we can diacritically mark it like that. Again, it is quite tricky. The sound in the middle is the O and the sound together, so that is a tricky one. So take your time learning. Said and your, they're probably our hardest words this week. Next word, from. From. So it's got 4 sounds in it. That second sound's quite hard to hear. Sometimes the sound, from. So sound it out really slowly. And we can see when we diacritically mark it, it's got the 4 sounds there. Next word, going. Going. So I think we might have had this word when we were doing our verbs, maybe not. So we've spoken about adding the ing sound before. So hopefully that'll revise this for us, a bit of extra learning. So when we diacritically mark that, it's got 4 sounds, g, o, e, ng. That ng sound at the end is 1 sound, so we underline the n and the g together. Next word, after. After. Again, some of the sounds can be a little bit tricky to hear, so we just take our time, we sound it out, and we diacritically mark it. It's got 5 sounds, after. So 5 different sounds in that word. Next one, another one that a lot of people get stuck on, other. I think it's the th sound in the middle. Sometimes we can hear a v sound, so we need to be careful on that one. So let's diacritically mark it and have a wee look. So it has 4 sounds, other. So this is how we diacritically mark it, with the t and the h being a line. They make 1 sound together. Last word you'll be pleased to hear, these. Another tricky word. It is a magic E word, so when we diacritically mark it, it looks a little bit like that. So the t and the h make a sound on their own. The e links to the other e, magic E, to make the E sound. And then we've got this sound as a dot on its own, these. Okay guys, so those are our words this week. So your task is to copy your words down somewhere, a bit of paper, whiteboard. If you've got your jotter, that's absolutely fine. And then to see if you can diacritically mark them yourselves. So you can use the video, you can pause the video, you can try it yourself if you want to. Just think about the sounds in each word, think about the letters that make those words, and hopefully you'll be able to diacritically mark. And that's you done highlighter, so you don't have to watch the rest of the video. You can if you want, absolutely up to you. And we are going to move on to the pencils group. So pencils, this is you, get ready. We're going to have a look at our words this week. So our first word, pencils, I've kept it in other. It is one that we're still maybe spelling wrong at times, so it's really useful to have a look back and remind ourselves of the sounds in this word. So when we diacritically mark it, it has got 4 sounds, and that is how we diacritically mark it there. It's the th that make that sound, the of there. Okay. Next word, one that a lot of people struggle with. Probably some adults struggle with this one as well. So people. It is a funny looking word, with that A and O in the middle making the E sound. So when we diacritically mark it, it looks a bit like this. It's got 4 sounds. So just watch that L and A at the end, they make 1 sound together as well. So people is our second word. Next word, watching. Okay, so we have done verbs before, so we're used to adding the ing suffix onto words. So watch is our root word, and then watching would become the longer word there. So let's have a look at diacritically marking this one, because I think a lot of people will miss out the t in this word. It does just sound like it's a ch sound, but when we have a look at the diacritical marking, we've underlined the t, the k and the h, because they make 1 sound together. So just be careful of that. Okay. Next word, guys, spring. So spring, maybe not one that you find particularly tricky, but it's always good to have a wee think about those sounds, and if we are using it in our writing, we're in the season of spring right now, so it can be quite useful just to remind ourselves. Nothing tricky about the diacritical marking there. Again, we've got that ng sound at the end that make 1 sound together, the n and the g, so just be careful about that bit. Next word, picture. Again, one that some people can find a little bit tricky. Different sounds involved in this one, picture. So let's have a look at the diacritical marking for it. So p, I, k, t, and then it's a magic E between the and the A at the end, and then the sound is just a dot on its own, so picture. Again, that's maybe one of our hardest ones this week, so just be careful with that sound in the middle, this sort of picked bit. Okay. Saturday. Hopefully you know that it has to have a capital letter at the start because it is the name of a day of the week. So please, anytime you're writing Saturday, make sure it's got a capital letter at the start. Saturday. So let's have a look at diacritical marking it. It's got quite a lot of sounds in it, so we just take each one as it comes. The only one that we need to underline there is the A sound at the end, which is made with the A and the Y there, so they get a line rather than a dot, because that's one sound. Next one, guys, is because. So I think we've probably had this one a few times now. Always good to revise it. We use it a lot. So let's have a look at how we can break down the sounds in because. So the only bits that we need to worry about here, the sounds, the O sound is the A and the U together, and then this at the end is the S and the A. Those make the sound, so we need to make sure we're underlining those bits because. A lot of people have different ways of remembering how to spell because. I know that there's a very popular wee sort of phrase involving elephants, so maybe you can have a wee think about that one just now. Last word, guys, might. So I might go and have my lunch very soon. I'm getting a little bit hungry. It only has 3 sounds in it, and it's tricky because of the I sound in the middle is made by 3 letters, the I, the G and the H together. So might, so that's what it looks like when we diacritically mark it there. So our words this week are there, guys. Take your time on them. I think probably picture is going to be the hardest one, maybe because, maybe watching, just depending on your experience with those words. So please take your time. So what I've said to do is if you copy your words down somewhere into a jot or whiteboard, whatever you have at home, and then try and diacritically mark them yourselves. You should be quite good at that by now, but obviously come back to the video if you're struggling or want to double check. So just think about the sounds, think about the letters that make those sounds, and you should be fine. So pencils, that's you done. You don't have to watch the rest of the video because we're going to go into the pen stuff now. If you want to watch for the pen stuff, you absolutely can. Pens, it is your turn now. So if you are the pens group, here we go. Our first word is Saturday. I've kept it in. The pencils have it too, just because we use it quite a lot if we're doing weekend news or thinking about what we've done at the weekend. It needs a capital letter at all times. It is the name of a day of the week, so we need to make sure we have a capital letter. Next word, 8, as in the number 8. It is a tricky word because it only has 2 sounds, but look at all those letters. So you need to really think carefully about those letters. We're going to come back to our diacritical marking in a wee second, pens. So have a look at those letters just now. Quite a lot of letters just to make those 2 sounds, 8. Third word, one that still a lot of people are spelling wrong, friends. I think if we're spelling it wrong, we're missing out the I in the middle, or we sometimes can swap the I and the A around. So I thought we'll just put it in and then we know we've had it, it's a spelling word. So friends, okay. The I is a sort of hidden silent letter, so I think that's why we can sometimes miss it out. So just be careful learning that one, that you've got your silent friend I after the R. Next word, different. This one I've put in because again a lot of people miss out that first A when we say it, because we're Scottish, our accents can sometimes miss out the first A sound. Different. Doesn't really sound natural to say it that way. So I've added that one in just so that we can learn it different, and we can have that one as our spelling word this week, different. Next one, guys, emotion. So this one is useful, talking about our emotions and how we're feeling. We have had the sh sound before, so we looked at the T and the I, spelling the sh sound, so hopefully that one is ringing bells for you there. Emotion. So it is a tricky spelling, but we have done it before, so it's maybe a bit of revision, a different word for us to have a think about that sh sound. Next one, guys, we have got continue. Again, just a really good one to know how to spell. Quite a few sounds in that one. Just be careful of that N sound, the U sound at the end is the and the together. Second last one, Miss Dobie's favourite meal of the day, breakfast. Just depending on our accents again, we can hear different sounds. Some people might say breakfast, some people might say breakfast. So this one is hard to think of the sounds inside it. So we just need to know that that sort of sound, breakfast, is made with the and the a. That's one sound together. So if we were diacritically marking it, we would underline the and the a as one sound. So breakfast is our second last word. Last word, holiday. Some of us are still spelling it wrong. Some of us might be okay with it. It's always good to revise. It doesn't need a capital letter unless you're talking about a specific like name of something, like a Holiday Inn hotel. That would be a capital letter because that's the name of something. Most other times it won't need a capital letter. So have a look at those letters. Holiday, one L needed, not two. So those are our words for the next couple of weeks. Pens. Your task pens. I have not diacritically marked yours because I want you to try and do yours yourself without me doing it first. So I've spoken through some of the sounds already. So hopefully you should be able to go back and have a wee think about those sounds. Take your time, think about each word, think about the sounds it has. Maybe before you diacritically mark, count the sounds in each word, and that might help you with your diacritical marking. You can pause the video now, because in a wee second I'm going to put up the answers so you can come back and check your answers. So that is your task pens. Here are the answers, just if you want to come back to it or have a wee sneak peek. And that is our spelling for this week, guys. So we all have different words. The crayons, the highlighters, the pens and pencils have all got different words this week, common words, so please take your time in learning them. They're all really useful words, and if you've got any problems, please let me know. Have fun, guys. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.